It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Stewart Brewing Company. It's a beer that's launched in the Lidl Craft Beer Festival of July 2022. And this is called Cocoa Nut, Chocolate and Hazelnut Stout. It's a 440 milliliter can, coming in at 7.1% ABV. The IBUs, which are really interesting in this, that's the International Bittering Units. You can either taste 0 IBUs, which is 0 bitterness, or 100 IBUs, where your palate is tasting the maximum that your palate can take in terms of bitterness from hops. That's 100. This is 74. So this is very much leaning over towards that kind of, as much as you're 3/4 of the way of what your palate can take in terms of bitterness. So this is going to be something which hopefully I'm going to really like, because I like my bitter beers. What's interesting about this beer is it's one of the most expensive beers that I've bought from Lidl. The craft beer festival beers in Lidl tend to come in between £1.49, £1.79 as of up to 2022. I mean, if we're watching this in a few years down the line, with inflation as it is at the moment, God knows what you're paying. It might be an awful lot more. But right now, 2022, £1.99 is the highest I've ever paid for a beer. Certainly a 440 milliliter can from Lidl. So I've got my fingers crossed that this is going to be a good one. Based in Edinburgh, in Scotland. Nice bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer in the glass. Let's hope it's good. Well, it's developing a nice head. It's on its way to being imperial strength. It's closer to being imperial strength than it is normal strength stout. So a normal strength stout will be about 5% ABV. Imperial strength stout will be 8% ABV. That's the old kind of gauge that we use in what's an imperial stout and what's a stout. So 7.1% ABV, only 0.9% ABV away from being an imperial strength stout. We got a 1 finger tan coloured head, tight, lovely tight head there going on. It's a jet black beer in the glass. Looks absolutely fabulous. It really does. Let's get the aroma then. Look at the way that head's developing as I'm rolling that beer around in the glass. No light bleeding through there whatsoever. Aroma. Oh, I really like that. I really like that. Oh yeah. Loads of coconut, loads of chocolate. Quite a bit of hazelnut. It almost smells like a chocolatey milkshake. But what I really like about the beer, and it's an underlying aroma, it's kind of just lurking around in the background, is this kind of plum, fig, prune flavour. And that's coming from the hops in the beer. That's the hops that are not tasting tropical or smelling tropical, because it's obviously a dark beer. When you add hops to a darker beer, you don't get grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange. You get more kind of plum, fig, prune, dark fruit flavours in the aroma and the taste. So far, a very, very impressive aroma. Let's dive into the taste. Cheers, everybody. I really like that. I really, really, really like that. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. What a fantastic beer. That is incredible. Absolutely incredible. It is so creamy and rich. It doesn't appear to have lactose in the beer. It appears to have oat. it appears to have oats. You get that kind of nuttiness, that kind of breadiness from the beer as well. But, you know, I wouldn't really mind if there was lactose in the beer. And that's because if there is lactose in the beer, it's really well hidden. It's lovely and hidden and tucked away. You're picking up a rich, creamy, thick mouthfeel. But at the same time, it's not slick and oily. I don't like a slick, oily stout. I like this kind of rich creaminess to come through, which is definitely coming through in the beer. I'm really, really, really impressed by this stout. Stone the Crows. Look at this. As you rock the beer back and forth, you can see the carbonation chasing the head of the glass. It just looks rather incredible. And the taste. I talked about that 71 IBUs earlier. That's the difference, I feel. That's the balance coming through. I think if it wasn't 74 IBUs, I think it would be leaning maybe too much to being too sweet. But it's just got that lovely, lovely, lovely bitterness on the back end, just to carry that cocoa, that chocolate, that hazelnut, the coconut in there. Fabulous, fabulous. And the bitterness is not just bitterness for the sake of being bitter. You've got that plum, that fig, that prune. The dark fruits I was talking about earlier that are coming from the hops. Beautiful beer. Beautiful beer. I really recommend going out and trying this one. I really do. So the description is rich dark chocolate and sweet hazelnut flavours dominate this decadent stout. Edinburgh's original craft brewery, Stewart Brewing, have been innovating and brewing great beers since 2004. Interesting story about Stewart Brewing Company. They started off, they got a university in Edinburgh called Harriet Watt, I think it's called. And in Harriet Watt, they have brewers. They have brewers learning their trade. It's a brewing university. And if I got my story right, then Stewart Brewing Company are made up of students of the university. They decided to open up their own brewery. And if I even got my story even more slightly right, I believe that they started off by using the university's brewing equipment to get their pardon me, I nearly sneezed, to get their kind of brewing off the ground, to get their brewing company off the ground. So they've come a long way. They've come a really long way since 2004. But you can tell that they're from universities. You can tell that they've learned their trade. You can tell that they've learned what's good in brewing and what's bad in brewing. Because everything from Stewart Brewing Company, it's been really good, I think. Especially for that £1. And so just to finish off very quickly, do I think this beer's worth the £1.99 price point? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've had worse stouts. I've paid £5 for them in bottle shops. I always say support your local bottle shop. Always support your local bottle shop. But if you're feeling the pinch, as some of us are in 2022, then you can find yourself a really decent stout here in Lidl for £1.99. I like it. I like it enough. I love it. One of the best beers I've ever had in Lidl. Certainly one of the best stouts. That's a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.